There's another phase we might be in our lives, and that's balance. I meet a lot of people who lost balance in their lives, who come to my trainings and also coaching and mentoring sessions, who lost the balance in their lives. So they're already progressing. Most of them are already progressing. In some areas, when you lost balance in your life, in some areas you might also be not progressing. That's also possible, because progress comes with balance. If we really lost balance, we probably are not progressing in some areas. For example, if you lost your balance and you're spending more time and values, according to our values, we are very much inspired to lose our balance, and that we have to watch, because every day I see people who live life according to their values, but because they made the values mean a lot, it's like we have to watch about our mind, about what our mind does. That's why I've been teaching meditation for a long time. I keep on teaching meditation, because unless you are meditating regularly, you will always lose the balance in your life. Why? Because there will always be some things more meaningful than the other things, but balance in life is actually balancing all areas of our lives. So I don't buy when people say, but I'm living a life according to my values, so I work most of the time and I don't spend much time with my family. Life doesn't work like that, and the art of life is not it. The art of life starts when we find the right balance. So if you can balance your life, still living according to your values, which means knowing your values and aligning all areas of your life to your values, because only if we live a balanced life, we start feeling fulfilled. So fulfillment, the phase I talked about in my previous video, fulfillment also depends on the balance. We may be feeling fulfilled because we live according to their values, but when we go to bed at night, there's always a part of us, our truth, spirit, our being, that part, not the human, but the being, not the doer, the observer. That observer, our truth, knows that our lives is not in an imbalance. And that creates symptoms. All of the symptoms people face, especially health symptoms, ADD, ADHD, goes on like that, is because we lost our balance. Because our being is balanced. And when we're connected with our being, that's why I teach meditation, and I support people to meditate each and every day regularly, because that's very much important to keep ourselves in balance. We need awareness. We need full awareness. That's why I teach breath as well. We need that light, that awareness, to be aware of the areas we lost balance. And just because you're living according to your values, you don't need to lose the balance of your life. Because until you find that balance, until relating in your life, the wealth you need, the business creation you need, social relationships, we are all humans. We all need balance in all areas of our lives. And when we see that balanced, then we start feeling fulfilled. So fulfillment, for me, like I said, in coaching literature, fulfillment is about living according to our values. But above all, balance is a value for humankind. It's a value of my being. It's who I am. Balance is who I really am. So unless I am balanced, there won't be a spiritual fulfillment for me. And I will always be in the search, and I will always be running around like a rat, So balance is a very important value. And for our lives to be in balance, of course, we need to understand that for that balance to happen, all areas of our lives has to be in service to our values. And that's going to bring fulfillment, and that's going to bring balance. And what does balance mean? We as coaches work with the life wheel. We look at 9 areas of life. And if you know 9 areas of life, they are your health, wealth, business, social, family, relationships, self-development, your growth, your environment, everything about your life. And when you look at the life wheel, when you think about all areas of your life, and you can also add spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and when you look at all areas of your life, you can do this exercise when watching this video. You can look all areas of your life and you can give a number from 0 to 10 to all areas of your life. And you can all start doing that right now. Physically, where are you? From 0 to 10. Mentally, where are you in your life? From 0 to 10. Spiritually, where are you? Emotionally, where are you? If you think about 10, the top level of your life, where are you right now? Wealth, where are you? From 0 to 10. Health, where are you? 0 to 10. Just give a number. Relationships with your family, with your colleagues, with your boss, with your friends. Relationships, where are you? Social and relationships can go together, or you can also give a number to the special relationship, your partner, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. And when you look at life, I don't buy when people say, I don't have a partner, but I'm okay. I don't buy that shit. I'm sorry. Because I know, as being a person who is experiencing that balance, who's been working on that balance for a long time, I know that my fulfillment, balance, is the first value. Maybe it's the only value we all humans value. Seeing all areas of life work is the only one and only truth we humans have. I haven't ever met a person who told me I don't want to be 10 in all areas of my life. I want my relationship to be a 0. I don't want to have a relationship. I haven't met anyone. I have met people with no relationships, but I haven't met anyone who doesn't want a relationship. I have met people with money problems, but I haven't met people who doesn't want wealth. So there are all these people who call themselves spiritual. Money is not important. I'm going to tell you something. Just imagine I gave you $10 million. Would you say, no, I don't want it, it's not my value? It's just those stories people tell, I don't buy. It's like you have this dream boyfriend or girlfriend who comes up to you and says, I want to spend my life with you and I want to dedicate my life to you. Will you say, oh no, I don't want relation. I want to be alone. I prefer being alone. No. I've been coaching enough people to see that our truth lies on balance, and we all want to succeed in all areas of our lives. And all the stories about your values, what your values are, because the reason that area of your life is not balanced because you are living according to your value and you don't give a value to money and relationship. And that's why I coach people, for balance in their lives. And until I see you balancing your whole life, you're not there. You won't feel fulfilled. Even if, you tell yourself, you fool yourself, telling yourself, I am fulfilled. I know you're not fulfilled. I know my own story. I'm a human being like you guys. I know my humanity. So until you see all areas of your life balanced out, until you see you're growing in all areas of your life, until you see you are healthy and getting healthier, you have wealth and building wealth, you have a business, growing business, we are all humans. Like I said, you have a relationship, and that relationship getting deeper and deeper, until you see socially you're growing, mentally, physically, emotionally, until you see yourself growing in all areas. You won't be fulfilled, and you won't call your life a balanced life. So start asking those questions and look at the areas of your life where you lost balance, and the areas you lost balance are the areas you think you don't value because you didn't yet align them with your values. So start asking, for example, if you think you value spirituality, you're a spiritual being and you think you value spirituality. If you think, and I meet many people like that, like they say they value love and relationships more than money, and that's the reason they don't have money. That's nonsense. That's just nonsense, because valuing love and valuing spirituality doesn't lead you into having less money. You can still value love and relationships and have the money. It's just nonsense. It's just stupid stories of humankind. And you, as well as everybody else, can see the spirituality and love in money, and you can start building wealth as well. You don't need to be moneyless to be spiritual. You can be spiritual and also have the money. But for that, you have to start looking at, this is an example. For example, you're a person who thinks you value love and relationships, you value your family more than the money. Start thinking, how would money, having more money, serve your relationships, serve having more love in your life? Because money does serve having more love in my life. Let me give you an example. Because I have enough money and I have some wealth, and because I'm building wealth each and every day, I can love my family. I can show my love to my family and friends by buying them dinners, buying them presents, buying and doing what they love. Like I can, with the wealth I have, I can go and travel with my daughters where they want to travel to, and I can show my love, and we share love, and we share a deep friendship there. So if you start looking at all areas of your life and start asking this question to yourself, how does getting that area to 10 serve me and my values? How does being healthy? Health might not be your value. I meet a lot of people who doesn't value wellness and health. They are business people. They work all the time. They work 10 hours a day. They don't do sports. They've been gaining weight for the past 12, 20 years. And they say, I'm gaining weight because I don't value being fit and well and healthy. I get that. But you don't have to gain weight because you don't value health. You can still, if you're an intelligent person, if you're an awake person, and my mission is to awaken people on that. I'm dedicated to expanding human consciousness and awakening you about your whole life, because your whole life can work. There is not one area that needs to be a 0 or a 2 when you start asking the right questions. And that's why there's coaching, that's why there's mentoring, and that's why, the Nevsah Institute story is all about that. So let me come back to this story. If you ask your questions, if you ask yourself the right questions, if you now look at all areas of your life which you see as a 2, as a 1, as a 3, and start asking yourself the right question. So when that individual starts asking herself the question, how does being healthy serve my business, then they get it. Because I usually tell them, if you go on like this, I understand you value business. I understand you work 10 hours a day because your business is your first value. And I have family relatives like that. They've been working and not caring about their health. What happens in the end, they lost their health, of course, and they couldn't go on working. So I meet each and every person who see business as their value, who see health not as a value. I ask them, I tell them, if you go on like this, you're going to lose your health. And because you lost your health, you're going to lose your business. Because I have seen people with business values, because they value business, they worked 10 hours a day, not caring enough about their health, and they lost their health and they lost their business. You are going to lose, you have the chance to lose that business when you lose your health. If your business doesn't yet have the structure to go on, if you're not there, you're going to lose it all. So start thinking how health would serve me. So start looking at the areas you think you don't value instead of the areas you value. You already think about the areas you value. Start spending time on the areas you don't value. So look at your whole life and give numbers to all areas, and start thinking about the areas that have low numbers, and start thinking, asking this question to yourself, how would getting that area to 10, making that 10, for example, health, for example, wealth, for example, social, how would making that 10 support my value, whatever value that is? Like if you value business, business. If you value your family, start thinking, how would being more healthy serve my family? How would having more money serve my family? I meet women, especially in Turkey, I meet those women a lot. They say they don't have any money, they don't work, they haven't invested a coin, they don't even have, some of them don't even have bank accounts. And they tell me they value family more than money, and they depend on their husband's money. It's happening a lot in the east of Turkey right now, and east of India, and east of Africa, and many other countries. They say they don't value money. But because they don't have the money, they don't have the respect from their family. So the first value they have doesn't work anymore because they don't have the money. And the moment they start thinking, how would having money serve my family, and they start investing and having bank accounts and having the money, because they have more authority, because they can buy, it doesn't have to be big things, because they can buy little things to their children, do something for the family, then they have more authority, and their relationships in the family change. They have more love in the family. They have more respect in the family. And before I end this video, I'm going to tell you something, whether you connect with it or not. We are all human beings, and in my meditation trainings, I most of the time talk about the human side and the being side, and most people would probably remember it if you came to my meditation trainings. We are not just humans, we are humans and beings. So that being part is the balanced part, which is awake and aware and a whole, different level of consciousness, where the human part is in life. So the being part is already fulfilled. It doesn't need anything, it doesn't need to be fed, it doesn't need to be loved. It is love, it is inspiration, it's fulfillment, everything by itself. Balance. But don't fool yourself thinking that the human self is also like that, because I see some people getting fooled, and that's the reason why I wrote the Awakening book. Many people are fooling themselves thinking the human self doesn't need to be fed, doesn't need to be loved, and da-da-da-da-da. The human self will need to be loved, will need to be fed, will need to grow, has a need to grow in all areas of his or her life. So that human self, I'm not talking about the being. Like I said, the being doesn't need anything. My being, I can just be, and I'm fulfilled. In my being, I'm fulfilled all the time. But in life, for Nevsah, this self, the human self to be fulfilled, to have balance, she or he needs action, and also she needs to see her life in balance to be fulfilled. There is no fulfillment for humans until you see all areas of your life balanced. So that's the last thing I wanted to say today. See you in my next video. I'm going to be talking about the next phase of humanity.